Hey guys, how's it going? Marvin D'Souza here. In this video, I want to talk about Azure B2C or business to consumer or customer. And what this really does is enable you to secure the way your end users or customers who are not part of your tenant or your Active Directory domain can still access applications in a secure manner and give them all the benefits of multi-factor authentication, etc. With Microsoft Azure B2C, not only is it easy to set up, but you can allow your users to use their existing social ID or email addresses. So they can use Twitter or Facebook to log in, or Google, Microsoft, etc. So what that really does is enable you to share resources in a secure fashion with your customers, and they can actually interact with your applications in a secure fashion. So let's take a look at how easy this is to set up, because I think what you're going to see is that this is one of those things where Microsoft again has done a great job in making this easy. So go to your portal, your Azure portal, and then search for B2C and then hit create. So that's pretty much it. And then once you do that, you create the Azure tenant. Here you can add or enter any information you'd like, right? So you can put in something like test domain. And here, if this was an application you had, whatever that application could be, it could be point of sale or your library information, whatever you would like to create for your tenants. Obviously, we're going to append it with this here with this domain name. So we will double check and say like, hey, is this already in use or not? Then you have to obviously assign a resource group. Resource groups are a collection of resources, whether that's storage, virtual machines, applications, etc. So it's a bunch of different resources that you collect. I've already created one, so I'm just going to jump this step and hit and go to the one I've just created. So let's go there real quick. Oh, it's already in it, so let's keep going ahead. Here. Once we log in, let's go to Azure B2C, or you can look for it if it's not already there. Now here's where you actually can start adding applications, create user flows. So let's look at the applications I already have. So if you don't have an application registered, you can register an application. I have an application I've registered here. I have two applications, but let's take a look at this one here, Test App 1. When you register an application, you have the choice whether it's a web application or native application, native to iOS or Android. You can choose different kinds of things like how you want it to interact. You want people to have use a built-in like an app, or can they just use a browser, things like that. So you have lots of options. And then obviously you can choose the reply URL. So once people are authenticated, where do they go? And all these kinds of different tools. Obviously you have API access, right? So if you're a developer and you want to go a little deeper or have a little more customization for this application, you can definitely do so. Identity providers, here you can actually start choosing the identity providers that you want to allow or enable for your end users, right? So if you say, I only want to do Microsoft, local account, and Google for now, but you can always add more. And if you have an OpenID connected provider, we always support that. So again, this is all open APIs, all open based, right? So we're supporting anyone that has open API connecting. So if your organization already has an application or a authentication service based on OpenID, you can always add that here as well. For this example, I have Microsoft account, local account. What's nice is, let's say you just click on Facebook, right? And you want to do Facebook. We have all the information here, right here. So how you would configure Facebook. So what's nice about that is that we walk you through all the steps. So if you wanted to go ahead and create a federation for Facebook, or add Facebook as an identity provider, you could definitely do that. So once you've added all the different identity providers that you want, The other thing you can look at is user flows. So user flows, what a user flow is basically saying when a user signs in, what do I want that experience to be like? So from an end user experience, what do I want that to be like? And here you can say things like you can choose the first of all, you can just choose the identity. Let's go step by step, right? So let's just go properties. So from a properties perspective, do you want to have MFA? Now, if it's a secure application, you can choose, yes, I want to have MFA. But if it's not so secure application, if it's just something like you're just checking what books you've checked out from a library or something simple, you can leave that off. But if it's paying for overdue fees, at that point, you can step it up and say, yep, I want MFA enforcement. You can also choose conditional access, and we've covered that in other videos as well. So what conditional access is based on certain conditions or risk factors, either force an MFA or block access, things like that. So this is where this really comes in. Here you look at the token lifetime. This is how long you want the token to be either available. Right? Do you allow refresh of tokens? The compatibility settings, session behavior, like do you want sign-on configuration for the tenant application based on policy, etc., or password complexity, right? So when people are signing on, do you want them to have a very strong password? These are all those things. And when you finish creating this, if you wanted to test this, what's really nice is you can just hit run user flow. When you hit run user flow, you get this URL that you can actually click on, or you can just click run user flow here. So when you click run user flow, what'll happen is it'll take you to what the sign-in experience will look like for any of your users. So you can actually click on Google, or you can create a new user based on an email address, etc. So let's create one based on Google, and let's use Secure Corp. And here they're asking us for some more information. Overland Park. United States. And hit continue. Now, since we had MFA set up as well, it'll ask us for that information as well. So let me just put up screen real quick. So it's asking me for a code, and once I put in the code, it'll basically take me to that test page and show me like, yes, it'll send me the SMS code, text message with the code on it. I enter that information, and it's done. So that was a really nice, user flow from that perspective. But what if you can create different user flows? So different user flows provide different things, right? So in this user flow, we have Google, Microsoft, as you saw when we signed in. It asked us for uh, the information, right? The country, user, city, etc. But you can add more user attributes here. So if you put email address, given name, job title, postal code, the next time you run this user flow or a user tries to sign in, all this information will be requested. What's important about this is when people say, put that information, application claims are when you create this information or provide that information, I can use this information for your account. So if you're part of, you have a membership ID for your organization, driver's license, etc., you can actually have that information and then create those claims and then have API connectors that can go back and verify that information, like for driver license or something. So it can actually go and verify that information with your name and password, email address, some other information, verify that yes, this information really is correct and it belongs to you. So then you can have more access to the application. Obviously, you can change the layout of the page. I've left everything the same, but we have some defaults in here that you can actually use, and you can actually get very granular. Obviously, if you want, you can create more. You can change the templates. I just chosen the basic template, and that's pretty much it for a user flow. But what's nice is you can create different user flows for different applications or for different purposes. So let's just say if you want to edit your profile, you have a different user flow, or if you want to reset your passwords, if you want to reset your password, you can go in here and choose reset password. So when you hit the run user flow from this, all this other information is the same, right? Identity providers, etc. But when you hit this run user flow, now you're going to actually get a different thing, right? So you're going to actually put in your email address, send verification code, and it'll actually then create that. Again, what this is doing really is giving you the ability to have a lot of control over uh, applications and make it the customer experience really good when people want to actually access applications that you want to secure. Here you'll see all the users that you have within your organization, all the information about them, etc. What kind of source information did they use? A external Azure Active Directory, or what did they do and how did they get? So this example here, Alex, he's an invited user or a guest user, and that's why he has this kind of creation here. But let's go ahead and delete these, right? Let's delete these two users, and let's delete Christy first. Yes. And then let's sign in as Christy. So let's go ahead into let's go back, user flows, and let's click on sign in, right, the first time. So run the user flow, run user flow. Now I'm going to basically say I want to sign up now. Don't have an account, sign up now. Christy C. And I'm going to, its first thing it's going to ask me is a verification code. This again prevents spam or robots or bots from creating a bunch of junk accounts in your environment. So let's just wait for that password to come through. Oops, I was looking at my phone. I apologize. I should be looking at my email from Christy Klein's email. And here's the code 425593. 425593. Verify code. Once it's verified the code, then I'll say, okay, yep, the code has been verified. You can enter all this information in. So I'm just going to put in some information here. The city is Boston. The country is USA. So it's Christy Klein. And I hit create. When I do this, now it's going to ask me for my phone number. The reason it's asking for the phone number is because I said, hey, I want to have multi-factor authentication. So let's go ahead and put that in there real quick. Let me pull this off screen real quick. And again, it's going to ask me for verification. It's going to send me an SMS message with my code to verify that, yes, this is the right phone number I'm putting in. It's also a good thing in case people typo their phone numbers, things like that. So, and this step is really happening because we've asked for multi-factor authentication. But there you have it. And then if I go back into users, I'll see Christy Klein is back in. So that's where this really comes in handy. It's very easy. As you've seen, the customer experience is really nice. It's very simple. And it's just one of those things where you can actually make this very easy for your end users, customers, partners, whoever you want to do business with, to access resources in a secure fashion. And I think that's the key thing, right? It's like accessing resources in a secure fashion. I think there's up to, there's an Azure calculator that helps you calculate all this, but You can definitely log in and check and see. Look for, I think it's 50,000 users. Uh, there's a tier for that. So if it's monthly authenticated users, up to 50,000 is the first tier that's free, and then after that. So you should definitely check this out. It's if you have an Azure portal, go ahead and create this, and I hope you find this video helpful. Thanks a lot.